Alright, you guys, well, I got the fencing in, and I'm going to give you my feedback on this fencing, because I'm not sure if I like it, but at least this will provide a little bit of containment for what was going on over here. Now, if you're just tuning in, I'm going to put a picture of, I caught the varmint in there, and it was a possum. So for those of you that guessed possum, here's the picture. Now, he's gotten used to this. He comes in, he or she comes in every single night, gets her fill of tomatoes. You know, it's about 10% of the crop that she's eating. Some might argue just let her eat it. But when one comes in, then they get defensive of it. This is their food plot, you know. And then other animals come in too. So I ended up fencing all this in. Now, I purchased these posts on Amazon, and what they had was a brand called Vevor. It's the same brand as my 100-gallon tanks over here on the back of the house. Let's see if we could zoom in on this. Those are Vevor as well. I would not have purchased those tanks because they're made out of swimming pool material, and eventually they're going to burst. So I'm kind of, you know, they were like 50 bucks a piece. I'd rather got solid plastic water holders. Those definitely come in handy though, because I'm able to use a pump that's inside of there, pump it up into buckets up on the deck, so I'm not carrying around a bunch of water, and I pump it into these white buckets, these 5-gallon buckets, and then I can from there water all the plants that are up on the deck. So I got my herb garden up there, I've got mints up there, I've got sweet potatoes. It's basically everything that I know will get eaten if I leave it out here in the wild. So they're up on the deck. Now, it remains to be seen how good these sweet potatoes do in their pots. I guess we will find out. I'm not too worried about it. I'm just going to let it do its thing, and then I'll learn my lesson next year. But anyway, the point to all that was that Vevor makes a lot of what seem to be lower cost items. These posts were one of them, but if you look at the quality of this post, it's kind of flimsy. Now, it did the job. It was okay. They did pound into the ground, even into this hard Arkansas. Basically it's rocks and stuff and clay. It did pound in, but I did have to pre-start the holes. It's 1:30 in the afternoon now, and I started working on this a little bit before the show, and then after the show I worked on it some more until 1:30. So I would say from 11 to 1:30 I worked on this. So it's about 3 to 4 hours of work to get all this done. But now it's all in. I don't know how the bottom's going to do. They could squeeze under the bottom, but I did put boards under here to try and keep them from coming under the bottom. If I do see digging activity under the bottom, I will reinforce the bottoms a little bit better. But I was able to dig all these post holes and put up this chicken wire, and I did that in about 3 or 4 hours. And always wear safety glasses. Had a bit of a close call. Was pickaxing, hit some rock. A very hot shard of rock shot off into my left eye. And luckily, in the nick of time, I squeezed down my eyes, and it didn't go into my eyeball, but it burned the top and bottom eyelid. And I literally look like a clown right now. I'm not going to show you, but isn't that crazy? So that's what's going on, you guys. So you got to be very careful. You got, if I would have been wearing safety glasses, I would have been perfectly fine. And now I should get even more of a bounty of tomatoes, because it's going to keep all of the large rodents out. I did the same over here. This one is a smaller raised bed that I've done. This one gets full sun, so I learned a lesson with that as well. So any plants that love full sun, they will be going in this bed, and the plants that don't like full sun, they will be going in these two beds, because in the afternoon the sun comes over and all this is shaded in here, but over here it stays full sun all day. So these are just little things you learn, you guys. You don't know until you know, right? So what did I do? Well, this is super easy. The posts were, I think, 70 or 80 bucks for 10 posts. The chicken wire was like 30 or 40 bucks for 100 feet of chicken wire. And that's all I needed. I did have to buy a post pounder because I did not have one. But as you can see, this is a very, very happy and enclosed space here. And again, we'll see if it keeps them out. I will look in the morning. I have the trail cam still inside over here. And I will look at the cam, and I will look also for digging activity to see what is going on. But I wanted to show this to you guys, and I also wanted to tell you that when I first walked out here, I walked to this back side here, and there was a black snake, and it had something in its stomach. It looked a little bit larger than a frog. Maybe it was a small mouse, but the black snake is good. Those keep away the copperheads. Apparently right now is copperhead season where they're all hatching, so I shouldn't be out here in flip-flops. But since I was just out here, that's why I'm out here in flip-flops, because I need to you know, check all this out and to show you guys what's going on. So there was a black snake. I unfortunately didn't get the black snake on film, but it was about 2.5 feet long. It was a juvenile, but that's good because that's what you want. Now I believe there are probably creatures living underneath these raised beds. All it is wood in the bottom, like scrap wood, and so we will see. You know, I don't like creatures living under there, but I guess it's part of the ecosystem. So anyway, this is what we have. Tomatoes are doing really well. I've already got 4 bags of 1 gallon tomatoes. So I have 4 or 5 gallons of tomatoes so far that'll go in salsas and sauces and things. And also you can see here, I don't know if I showed you guys this before, but I made these platforms to walk on because it can get muddy and wet around the bed. So this is good because it helps me get in there, and so I don't have to worry too much about where I'm stepping to. It's a solid background in case there's a snake in there. But when I'm in there, I will definitely be wearing my boots. And I'll have to manually weed eat inside of the bed here to keep the weeds down. So that's what's going on. That's the update. Gosh, it was a lot of hard work, but that's okay. I was able to skip my workout today and just do this, and got a good workout and a good sweat. Make sure you stay hydrated. Make sure also you drink your salts, because when you sweat a lot, your salts get depleted and you can actually, you know, not be in good shape. You could get like some kind of sunstroke. Now it is a little bit overcast today, so that's cool. So it made it, I guess, a little bit easier. Well, I kind of put a door like this edge is free, and I have a piece of wood that I stapled to the edge, and then as you can see, it's down there with that, and then I just pull that off and this opens up, and that's how that goes. And it's like hinged right here. That's the hinge. So it's a makeshift door, and at the bottom I stapled that wood down there so that nothing can scratch under there or whatever. So we will see. I'll keep you guys posted. Thanks for tuning in. Can't wait to harvest all these beautiful tomatoes. Now I can let these ripen without worrying about them getting eaten by critters. All right, guys. The mint is starting to flower. I'll show you guys that. I have this weird giant wasp flying around, and it's a beautiful wasp. It's like black with red, but I don't know what's going on. So anyway, that is mint, and look at it's flowering. Let's see if we can zoom in on this. The mint is flowering. Isn't that beautiful? This mint's doing way better than the other mint. I've got mint on 3 sides of the deck. It's supposed to deter rodents, but we'll see if it does any good. Hopefully it'll proliferate and fill in all the gaps so nothing will want to go under the house. All right, guys, I do have my deer blind up. That is to get the deer acclimated. I'm not using it yet, of course, but that's where I will be spending some time when season starts. Trying to get me a deer this year. Have a great rest of your day, guys. Much love.